Roses, palm roses. These are probably the most common. I mean, after the cross, if you're going to do any kind of bouquet or something, you're going to want roses. So there's actually some cool variations. I'm going to show you a few of those. But let's start with the basic one. This is one palm leaf doubled. I like to leave the bottom attached here because it turns into a stem, and so you can either slip that behind a picture frame or add it into a bouquet, something like that. And it's just easier to keep it corralled if it's still attached. So you want to separate them down to maybe 6 inches at the bottom. Your basic one is to take the one in the back and fold it like so at a 90, and then this guy is going to fold about a 45 or whatever that math is, plus 90. I'm not doing math, we're palm weaving, thank you very much. Then this one folds behind. See how this is parallel? And we're giving it a good hard crease here. This one folds behind there and bring it in front of the stem here. And this is basically how that functions. You just keep going around and around. I like to do these with the leaves that have a lot of contrast between dark green and the lighter yellowy side, because it just gives a lot more action in the rose itself. There's always hairs. Yank them off. Sometimes I actually keep these curly things and make a pile, and you can add frizzle to bouquets or something. That can be kind of fun with those. So folding it back like that, there are some versions where they roll these to the front. But then you have to figure out what to do with this big spring that results from that. If you roll it to the back, the pressure of that keeps it from unwinding. It's a much tidier process. And then I typically like to end with these scissor things sort of facing down toward the stem a little bit, just so they don't stick out and start causing trouble with other parts of your bouquet. Something like that. Ta-da! Not too crazy, right? You could keep going ad nauseum, or you can just trim these off and call it done. So that's your first rose. Then there's another version of that. Let's see. Let me try this one. There's another version. So a couple things. If you're making a bouquet, it looks really nice to have 3 roses and maybe some buds. So for just to get the arrangement to look happy, it's good to wind one this way that'll stick off to the side, and the next one wind the opposite direction, so your stem's in the middle and they're kind of working to create a shape that's pleasing. And then you can actually sort of do like a 45 first, so that one sits sort of in the middle and goes up at the top, and that's a really beautiful kind of setup. So just to keep that in mind. So this one will go the other way. Turn the one in the back. Now this one, I'm going to do one that's a little fluffier, if that's a word. Yeah, I think it's a word. Where I don't crease them as much, and I just let it kind of roll, because roses kind of have that sort of roundy shape to their petals, so it's another look. It's kind of interesting, slightly different. And I've seen people put their finger up in the middle of this to kind of keep it open for a bit, and then that'll give you a bigger rose to start with. So I'm still just flipping them behind, but I'm not creasing them so that it's a little bit more rolled looking. This one is a little less obedient for staying in place. So it requires a little bit more finishing at the end to make sure it doesn't come undone on you. This one feels maybe a little bit more natural and less mathematical or something. The one that's all creased has a very kind of geometric flavor to it. So this is here, and you see how it sort of wants to maybe cause trouble. So I found that if you take the scissor tail here at the end and poke them down through the middle in the spiral here, somewhere back here. Tweezers. Let's all bring tweezers. There we go. And here. It's a very fiddly craft. Where, oh, where has my palm leaf gone? Oh, good Lord. She's singing. I'll probably try to edit that out. Okay. So now we have this back here. This is kind of working over here. And it's just a matter of, let's see, I can pass one through here and then tie a little knot over this one stem. This is where you really want fresh palms, because once they dry up a little, they don't like to be tied in knots too much. Oh, crikey. It's enough to make you swear off rose making forever. Okay, so a little bit fluffy, very geometric, going in opposite directions. Perfectamente. All right, so now let's get even wilder and do this one with 4, because why not? This might look more like a chrysanthemum or something. And let's see if we can get this one to kind of go in the middle. So I've just got these set up here. Maybe if I was super cool, I would staple these. But I don't have any stapler up here, so let's do that. Always move this to the front of your stem, or everything will come unwound. Don't worry if there's a big open space in the middle at first, because that'll close up as you work your way down to the skinnier sections of your palm. But you do want to kind of make this thing go in a circle. And sometimes you have to kind of manhandle a little bit to make that happen. Yeah, I'm going to go get a stapler. Okay, so let's make use of the hated stapler. I don't know, there's something that just offends me about adding metal. But this will all be covered up. It sure makes everything behave better. Yeah, worth doing. Alright, so where were we? We are rolling this around. I am creasing this pretty much just to make everything sit happy. It's a little swimmy as far as like, which one do I do next? Whatever's on top should be the one to go to the back. I believe that's this one. I'm rethinking this, how you start this off to get it to center on the palm branch here on the stem. Thought we were going to maybe head toward the middle with me starting at 45, but it looks like we're just hanging out on the right side again. So yeah, let's play with that some and figure out what really works happy. Every year we pick this up again. And I go, wait, how do I do all that? Can't quite remember it clearly. A lot of mashing around. Yeah, see how much bigger it makes this? It's not really that much wider than this one, but adding some extra and keeping it open, you can see it's kind of pretty from the back too. Yep. I think there's enough pressure here if we just fold these little guys, kind of corral them in the same neighborhood, make it stay. Probably should work pretty well. A little haircut, a little mashing. Should we bring a hammer or a rolling pin? Anyway, so here's the other thing. You don't have to do them all this way, that way. I've done some really nice one where you do like a graduated size and do a small one down here this way, and you can kind of, yeah. Anyway, you see how these kind of fit together? Fun, right? This looks sort of like a lollipop. Anyway, we're calling it a rose.